Obviously, one understands how serious this matter is here at the Constitutional Court that's standing right in front of the Constitutional Court. We'll have to wait and see exactly what the final decision will be from the Constitutional Court justices and various issues being raised in this court case around, of course, the legality of the contract and extending that contract. And the Chief Justices, of course, also speaking about the role of the Minister and whether the Minister have failed in her constitutional obligations that as far back as April, SASSA had already indicated last year that SASSA won't be able to fulfill its duty after it came to the Constitutional Court in 2015 and said that the Constitutional Court doesn't have to play a supervisory role anymore because it will be taking over the functionary of paying out the SASSA grants. And in 2016, April, they realized that that is impossible. And the big question out of this Constitutional Court case is, why wasn't the Minister aware? Why wasn't the Minister made aware? And why didn't the Minister bother herself to know exactly what was transforming and what was happening, considering, as Andrew Breitbach, the senior counsel representing government and representing SASSA as well, indicated that that's one of the core functions. SASSA, the work that SASSA does is one of the core functions of the Minister of Social Development. Earlier on, we also spoke to the ANC spokesperson, Zizi Kodwa, about what the court has had to say about the role of the Minister, or rather the lack of role that she played in this issue. And Zizi Kodwa indicated that there should be rather a consensus management, a consequence management rather, with regards to this issue and the role that the Minister has played. And we'll have to wait and see if at all there will be any political repercussions for Minister Dlamini. The President has previously declared his confidence in the Minister, and of course, as we know right now, that the grants will be paid. CPS has agreed and said that they are willing to extend the contract and go into a 12-month contract. They initially came to the Constitutional Court and said that they wanted 18 months, and that's the 18 months that that's the 18 months rather that SASSA said it would need to find a new service provider to do business and hand over these grants and make sure that these grants are given to all the 11 million beneficiaries. We heard from the post office as well. And quite interestingly is that when you listen to the conclusions of all the various arguments from Black Sash as well as from Freedom Under Law, there's really no mention about the post office and whether the post office will be capable. And that's because Mogoeng, the Chief Justice, has also indicated that he's not clearly sure whether the post office will, within a month, because that's a submission that they made, that they will be able to take over the function of supplying these grants or making sure that the grants are paid out within a month. Mogoeng raised various concerns and said that a month doesn't sound that it is realistic, that that will be the case. We heard from from Corruption Watch, they also, which came in as a friend of the court, and they raised an issue and said that there are what they call red flags of corruption in this matter. They didn't make the allegations of corruptions, but they say there are red flags of corruption, and they've asked the Constitutional Court to ask the Hawks to investigate this issue. We know that the Hawks has previously done an investigation into this matter. However, that investigation was stopped. We also know that even the USA, for that matter, the FBI in the USA, because Net1 is a USA-based company, they've also done their own investigation into this case, and they've decided to close down the case, although they have indicated that Net1 is not exonerated rather from what has been transpiring here in South Africa. So now we have to wait and see when exactly the judgment will be handed down, considering that the time constraints that the SASSA CPS contract ends on the 31st of March, and of course quite a tight deadline. The constitutional justices will have to work around the clock and ensure that they hand down judgment as soon as possible.